Good morning, guys. It's been a while that I did a vlog, and recently uh, there's a news of quarantine, of community quarantine in the Philippines, especially in Metro Manila. And this is also being practiced with the other provinces and cities within the country. So I just want everyone to be encouraged that even as of today, the executive order has been implemented as of March 15th, which is today, that Metro Manila will be under this ordinance, that they will monitor the in and outs within Metro Manila, and we will use the military and the police to enforce this ordinance so that people will follow self quarantine so that the coronavirus will be isolated, and hopefully uh, this crisis will end soon, and I believe God is in control of the situation, and I know that I know that he he knows what's best for us. Personally, my belief about disease is not from God. It's not a punishment from God, because if He is a good Father, He will not punish us with sickness. Imagine your earthly father, who may be a doctor or a lunatic, would just inject you with HIV because you did something bad. Do you think that that is a good father? So, with that logical uh, scenario, I don't think God will do that to mankind. We always have an adversary that will do this. He will always go against God's will. He will always accuse God of things, but then again, God, God's will and God's purposes will prevail. So, just like what we always quote in John 10:10, that the thief came to steal, kill, and destroy. So that's not the job description of God, but it is the enemy. We could call him Satan, we could call him the devil, but sometimes it's the will of man. It is the carnal flesh of man that does this to us. That's why we experience sickness, we experience crisis, we experience hardship because of the sinful nature of man. But then again, as a son and daughter of God, we are not a part of this world. We are of the kingdom. We are of under the new covenant, that we are new creations. So the old has passed, the new has come. So the old self is not who we are, but we are the new person, new spirit man that lives in us. So I just want to live this verse. Actually, this is what God has given me today. It's in John 14, verse 27, and it says, "Peace I leave you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Do not let your heart be troubled, or let it be fearful." And just pondering on these verses from John 14 to 17 is like the last um, words of Jesus to his disciples before got crucified and died on the cross. Um, the very essence of his heart is to just say, I'm still with you. Abide in my words, and I will be with you." And just saying that, Jesus is assuring his disciples that he will always be there for us. He will always be with us. He will never leave us as orphans. That's why he gave us a helper like him, who is the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit resides in every believer. And therefore, we have that peace in us. For Jesus, the Prince of Peace, Isaiah 4:9, that we live in peace. Despite the storms, the crisis, even the quarantine and all the isolation, let us always put our hearts in that position of peace. Let us put ourselves in that beauty of Christ, that despite the storm, he was able to sleep inside a boat because he is assured that he will be able to pass through the storm and reach the other end of the lake. And imagine, as Jesus being the Prince of Peace, living out of who he is, his identity, what more that we can do as children of God. Jesus modeled how we should be. Therefore, as children of God, we should be who we are. Despite the challenges, despite the crisis, despite whatever is happening to the world, we should stand up. We should always stand up to the challenges that the world is giving. And we should also have this opportunity to share Jesus to people around us, especially those who are victim of this sickness, that if God wills, that we'll be able to get into the hospitals where these patients are quarantined. I believe they need to hear the word of God. They have to hear the gospel of Jesus Christ, the good news that Jesus died for them to be healed, for them to be saved, for them to be delivered. And I believe God is still supervising every sons and daughters, because he has given us self-control. He has given us control over the situation. That we have this responsibility to carry that this world needs. We are the solution. We are the solution to the crisis of this world. And we have to stand up. We have to manifest, because this is what creation has been groaning and waiting for. Just as the days of Adam, that he was walking in the garden, he was manifesting as a son. He's not just acting, but he is being a son. So let's be sons and daughters. Let's not live in fear. Let's not live in panic. But instead, we will just live in peace. We will live in that faith that we are covered by the blood. We are covered by his grace and his presence. Christ is in us and outside of us. We have the armor of God, who is Jesus Christ himself. And whatever happens, we put our trust in God. So this is my message. I just want to share my heart to everyone that Jesus loves you no matter what. In Jesus' name, I declare healing upon those who have sickness right now, and I declare freedom for those who are in bondage. For Jesus has overcome.